It's time for Coffee with the Chicken Ladies, a podcast for people who love chickens.
Hey everybody, and welcome. It's Chrisie&Holly from Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. We're here, and this is episode number 282 of our podcast, where we talk about everything chicken, family, fun, and
more chickens.
More chickens. We drink a ton of coffee. I'm talking a ton. But most importantly,
we hug chickens, ducks, and geese every day.
Every day, and kiss them too. We brew coffee from a little coffee roaster in Houston, Texas. Bright and early coffee. Holly, what kind of coffee are we brewing today?
Native pecan.
It's so good. Now, if you're not drinking native pecan coffee from Bright and Early Coffee, you're missing out. Use the code CWTCL15 for 15% off a bagged coffee. Where should everybody go?
brightandearlycoffee.com.
And if you need K-Cups, go over to Amazon. Follow them on their social media. Are you ready to sip some of this delicious pecan coffee and chat?
I am. But first, a word from our sponsors.
We have some exciting news to share from our sponsor, Grubbly Farms. They're here, new and improved, Grubbly's World Harvest.
I'm a longtime subscriber, and my flock love the healthy, nutritious treats, plus orders $40 and more ship free.
If you haven't heard, Grubbly's has a fantastic layer pellet and crumble feed. It's packed with plant and insect protein, perfect for those picky chickens and ducks.
Grubbly Farms makes food and treats for healthy pets and planet.
To support us and Grubbly Farms, use the link grubbly.co/coffee. Try it today. La la la. Okay, so that was my intro story.
Oh, okay.
My intro humming. La 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 la.
Okay.
How are you doing today?
Probably tired. And I tell you that because this episode drops on April 21st, and that means we're going to be shearing sheep. My favorite time of year.
You're preempting the tiredness, but you are saying you are tired today, as in the day we're recording this.
Yeah, what else is new, man? That is a story of my life lately. I exist in tired, and more tired.
Yeah. I mean, it is a time of the year. I think we were talking with our patrons on our Zoom call. By the way, if you're not part of this, you got to get on it because these ladies are amazing people. And we were talking about this time of the year the other day, Monday, when we were talking to them. And chickens have problems this time of the year, it seems like, and it's tiring.
Yeah, I just had Dolly Madison at the vet yesterday with Dr. Rebecca. Plus, we've been working on a nasty crop on Queen Elizabeth. And of course, Apple Blossom, our cancer survivor, she gets medicated every day. So I think add that to extra spring stuff. And, I limed the runs. I did all the stuff.
Yeah.
I'm so happy when I have all that stuff done. But I don't know, my body's like, lady, you've been doing this since you're in your 20s and you need to slow down.
Yeah. I just had Rosemary into Dr. Rebecca yesterday for a reproductive exploratory surgery. She's doing well today.
She is doing well.
She has an oviduct that went a little crazy and is not producing eggs, but kind of cysts. So Dr. Rebecca took out 1.7 pounds of Orbeez. You know what those are. If you have daughters, you know what an Orbeez is. So it was a lot of them.
Wait, is the singular of, would it be Orby and then Orbeez plural?
Don't know. It's just the name of what the company came out with to call these little gel things.
The usage. I'm just asking you the usage.
They're Orbeez.
Orbeez.
Yeah.
Apple Blossom had some of the Orbeez too. And in fact, we have a photo of that in our book.
Yeah. And we have the photos of Rosemary from yesterday, which will be seen later. But so she had major surgery. She's recovering well. It takes a few days because they get sore from the incision area and everything. But yeah, we all had some stuff going on, and it's that body is restarting with the spring. So if there's going to be a reproductive problem or something, this is generally the time you're going to start seeing it happen.
Yeah.
So it's tiring.
It can be a lot. I mean, some people's chickens go through the spring with no problems at all. I think we're seeing an extra crop of problems this year. And don't feel bad if you're one of the people having problems. We're seeing an extra crop of problems this year because the winter was so hard.
It was a tough one. It was a tough one.
It was.
That's for sure.
Even with the best feed and low stress, it was still a rough winter.
Yeah. Other than that, the weather's been really pretty. Like that springtime, good breeze.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I've been loving Little Man. He's been good lately.
Good.
But
Armani's mostly been good.
mostly.
He did steal a plastic bag out of my hand one day and he killed it. He ran
Yeah.
up with it and spurred it to death.
Yeah. Little Man cracks me up because he always looks straight up while everybody else is eating and everything. Like, okay, I got your back, Slade.
Yeah, he's watching the sky. Yep.
He's doing his job, even
What a
with
good
his
boy.
big old crest. But nothing else is going on except for work, more work,
A little bit of work.
a little bit of work. Okay, so on that note, if you're listening to our show and you're loving it, head on over to Apple Podcast. You will make us really, really happy because we need a new review on there. So if you're the one to leave a new one, we're going to be loving it. Plus, hit that subscribe button because you never want to miss the fun. And did I say leave us a written review if you're loving the show?
You might have said that once or twice.
We would love to see one on there.
If you're looking for other ways to help support the show, you can tell a few chicken, duck, or goose-loving friends about us. You can share your favorite episodes on social media. You can become a patron of the show, patreon.com/coffeewithchickenladies. As always, a gigantic thank you to all of our patrons. You guys are wonderful. You make the show happen.
Join that Zoom happy hour. It's so much fun once a month. You won't regret it. These ladies are amazing that are on here.
And there are two more ways that you can help the show. The first is to buy products from our sponsors. The second is to buy our book, The Chicken Lady's Guide to Life with Chickens.
Pre-order!
Links are in the show notes. Thank you, thank you. I got a little chuckle yesterday because I was checking the Amazon listing. And you know when you're looking at books on Amazon and it gives you this little thing where it says, customers who bought this title also bought this title?
Yeah.
The other title was Michelle and Stephanie's book.
Oh, yeah.
Like people who bought The Chicken Lady's Guide to Life also bought Small Space Homesteading. I thought that was great.
Because those are our great friends. That's awesome. You know what I love when it's 95 degrees outside?
Being inside.
Well, that too. But I really love cleaning my igloo chicken coop.
Yeah, it is so easy to clean. You don't have to break a sweat.
And you can use a water hose or a pressure washer, so it doubles as a cool down. I also love those run covers.
Oh man, the shade is superb. I go into the run to cool off.
Yep, my flock's covered during the heat of the day, just chilling.
Meanwhile, we're melting on the patio. Seriously, can we get in on this amazing coop design for ourselves?
They're out there living the dream.
So when it's pushing 100 degrees, the right setup matters.
That's why we choose an igloo.
Get your girls their own just in time for summer.
Search Omelette. That's OMLET.
The Breed Spotlight is brought to you by Murray McMurray Hatchery, defining quality for generations. For over a century, Murray McMurray Hatchery has remained a trusted family-owned business, working tirelessly to ensure our poultry meet the highest standards. Whether you are an experienced enthusiast or just embarking on the journey, look to McMurray Hatchery for guaranteed quality, rare and heritage breeds, low minimums, and all the supplies you need to raise your flock. Request a free catalog today.
You got a little chicken who lays a pretty, pretty blue egg. And this week we're gonna put them on the Breed Spotlight, yeah.
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 One of our favorite breeds.
This week's Breed Spotlight is
the beautiful and engaging and absolutely darling Crested Cream Legbar.
I love it that we're seeing more and more people understanding the breeds and going towards the Legbar. And we met Leah. Leah, we're dropping your name here. She was a new patron on our Zoom call, and she had her little Legbar with her on the call.
It was so cute. Oh my God. It's so cute to see all of our patrons' animals. I love that part.
And Tashina, she's been for a long time, and she has some Legbars too. So a lot of people are understanding really that this bird is an amazing bird in a lot of different ways.
They sure are. I never want to be without them. These are one of my keeper breeds. Like, I will have Legbars always. Now, needless to say, the amazing Crested Cream Legbar is one of our favorite breeds. They were developed in the UK in the 1930s at Cambridge University. They are small-bodied chickens. They have a small backwards crest, and they have really big personalities.
Oh, yes, they do.
And that's one of the things I love about them. Legbars are auto-sexing, so they're an excellent choice for someone that cannot have roosters, but still wants some beautiful turquoise eggs.
I mean, that's just one of the things, but that's a major thing.
It is. Yeah, if you don't want to go the hybrid route, you need to know for sure that you're getting hens, but you don't want hybrid sex links. Legbars are one of the few auto-sexing heritage breeds that the chicks are sexually dimorphic at birth. You know you're getting hens.
Oh, yes.
So back to how they came about. In 1927, Clarence Elliott, who is a British horticulturist, traveled to South America to collect exotic plants and animals. Now, this was not uncommon at the time. The US, the UK, and several other countries were funding these expeditions, hoping that the collectors would bring back seeds or animals that would help with the many agricultural problems that cropped up after the First World War and into the 1920s. Among the, and I keep using air quotes, among the exotics that Elliott brought home was a group of chickens that just happened to lay blue eggs. The chickens were given to Reginald C. Punnett, who was the director of the Cambridge University breeding program. This program was essentially the leader in the UK's genetic research at the time, and Punnett was one of the leading genetic scientists in the world. Now, if you recognize that name, it's because Reginald Punnett gave biology students everywhere the gift of the Punnett square.
The Punnett square.
You remember that in high school biology? We did the peas.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, it seems funny that such an endearing little bird was created in an academic program, but that is where the Legbar came from. Punnett's work was focused on improving the livestock that was raised on British farms. So Punnett and his team were working on sex-linked genes and the creation of auto-sexing breeds. And again, when we're talking about first-generation hybrids, we're talking about sex-linked genes.
Yep.
When we're talking about sexual dimorphism in heritage breeds, that is auto-sexing.
Exactly.
So Punnett and his team crossed one of these Chilean hens that Clarence Elliott brought back. They called her a crested yellow hen, and they crossed her with a golden penciled Hamburg, and then crossed some of their offspring. A brown leghorn cockerel was eventually added to this breeding program, so they weren't just straight line breeding. They were bringing other blood in and selecting carefully. Now, at the same time, one of Punnett's associates, a man named Michael Peace, had crossed a white leghorn cockerel with some of the program's gold Legbars. These gold Legbars were some of the resulting birds from the original breeding. That offspring that Peace was breeding carried an identical cream gene to all the birds that Punnett was working on. So Punnett and Peace took these two separate lines that each had that cream gene, and they bred them together. They continued to select the offspring for crests, for auto-sexing, and for blue egg laying. And that is where your Crested Cream Legbar came from. They debuted the Legbar to the public at the 1947 London Dairy Show, which is like a great big agricultural state fair kind of a thing.
Exactly. And having a rainbow chicken that is auto-sexing a heritage breed is one of the most amazing things. I can't say it enough because there are so many people out there that want chickens and cannot chance getting a rooster.
Right.
This little chicken is the answer to your dreams. It's just full of personality and life and beauty and all the things. It just makes me so happy that they're auto-sexing.
Absolutely, yeah. And they're just, next year, they will be 100 years old. The breed will be 100 years old.
We're going to have a big party.
Legbar birthday party. Woohoo! Now, the British Poultry Club officially recognized the cream Legbar in 1958, but 20 years later, it was already in threatened status. Industrial egg and chicken farms had grown exponentially, and backyard chicken keeping at the same time had become much less popular. Also, at the same time, believe it or not, there was no market for these quote-unquote novelty eggs, these blue eggs.
Now they're must-haves.
Right. As we know, this changed about 25 years later as the Americana became popular. And I would say at the same time, the Easter egger, which is not bred to a standard. Easter eggers are more like really good quality mutts.
Exactly.
Legbars are designated a rare breed in the UK by the Rare Breed Survival Trust. They are not currently accepted by the American Poultry Association, but the Cream Legbar Club has been working away at this goal for, I think, a couple of decades. Legbars have only been in the U.S. since the fall of 2010. They were imported by Greenfire Farms. Most of the first batch of Legbars that came in died from Merrick's.
Oh, don't like to hear that.
I know, the U.S. strain of Merrick's. So there was a surviving trio, and they were actually Merrick's resistant, and they were used to build up the U.S. population. Greenfire Farms made another importation of unrelated stock in 2011, and they had these birds vaccinated for Merrick's. In 2013, they made a third importation of Legbars. This time, they brought in stock for champion Legbar breeder Jill Reese. So sometimes you'll still see a reference to the Reese line of Legbars.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The Cream Legbar Club actually has great resources if you look them up. They actually even have some podcast episodes, or at least they used to. They used to have some where what they were doing is putting the meeting up. They also include a very detailed breed history, so they really get into the ins and outs of the breed development. And then there's an article about Paul Bradshaw, who is the owner of Greenfire Farms. And this article is really good. It's about the importation process and the Merrick's issues that they ran into. It is definitely worth the read if you can find it.
Okay, so let's look at the Legbars and how they look, all these fun characteristics, because they're really cool little chickens. And I say that sometimes, but sometimes I really don't say that. They've got a lot of cool things going on.
What?
Like, I don't say that about all chickens. I love all chickens.
Like, what?
I love all chickens, and some chickens have extra cool stuff going on, and the Legbars kind of have a lot of cool stuff going on. They're small-bodied, and they can vary. I want to say this because when I had Cornelia, bless her little heart, I loved her so much. I lost her a few years ago, but she was a bigger Legbar, and I still have Peggy, her sister, who is much, much smaller. So you can have like
there's a range. So Beatrix, who I had several years ago, Beatrix was on the large side. Franny is medium, but Dame Judi Dench is really tiny too.
I feel like there's when we get to the weights, but there's a big range. They're small bodied, but they can be tiny bodied and small bodied.
I'm sure that wouldn't be the case if people were breeding to a show standard, but as it is, there's still a lot of variation in the lines.
Yeah. So they have that small body, but they have swept back crests, which are so cool. That's one of the cool factors. They have straight combs, but some of them are like ruffly and really cool combs. And some of the combs are bigger, some are smaller. It's just goes into the cool factor. I mean, they have small wattles, white earlobes, which adds to the cool look of this chicken, yellow legs and feet. Like everything about them, they're just kind of that when you look at them, you're like, they got it going on.
It's a really neat this is a really neat bird.
Now, the hens are a mixture of like those beautiful earth shades, like brown, grays, and cream, partridge kind of color. When you see them, sometimes they can have a little bit of gold in them. When the light hits them, they're really beautiful. They sometimes have stippling and barring and or that show up on their neck feathers and parts of their plumage. Now, the roosters are similarly colored, but with a lot more barring on their bodies and their tails. I mean, these are really pretty. Beautiful.
The boys are beautiful too, yeah. I mean, the hens are absolutely beautiful. The boys, taken on their own, are very colorful and very pretty too.
Yeah, so the cream by far is the most popular color, but they also come in golden creole and white varieties in the US, which I've seen pictures. They're pretty cool looking.
They are, yeah, they are.
And My Pet Chicken offers frost white and opal Legbars, which are really pretty. The fact is, I like it when these birds, like certain breeds, get all different varieties, because then if you love one bird, you can have the same breed and have them all look different but the same. So Legbars would be a great suburban flock for anybody that can't have a rooster. And you could have different color varieties and make it look very diverse.
Yeah, for sure.
So the opal is pretty with white feathers and lavender markings on the neck, wings, and tail.
It does make them look opalescent, like the stone, right?
Yeah.
It is very pretty. They're a very pretty variation, that opal Legbar.
Now, they are good layers of blue and occasionally green eggs. Peggy lays a green egg, which is really cool. Sometimes where Cornelia, when I had her, she laid like a sea blue egg, but Peggy definitely has like a green tinge. And I think you had the same thing.
Beatrix laid green. Franny lays turquoise. I mean, it really is a greeny blue. And Judi Dench lays a pale blue.
Yeah. I mean, they're kind of on the spectrum when it comes to the blue-green colors, and you can get all different ranges.
Right.
The pullets start laying in about 5 to 6 months. They lay an average of 4 medium to large size eggs per week. This is another little chicken that lays a big egg. Now, keep in mind, they have the leghorn involved.
Right.
So their egg laying ability is excellent.
Yeah, they do lay very well.
Now, they do go broody occasionally, not very often, but every chicken has that time where they can go broody.
This is my theory, okay? Some of this comes from talking to Fiona, because she's had Legbars go broody. I believe that chickens in general become more broody when there are other birds and breeds around them that go broody.
You're saying they sync up like women?
Yeah, I think they do. I actually think they do. Yeah. I
like
think
hormonally.
Yep. I think they probably do. I mean, I'm sure no one has ever studied that, but I think it's a thing.
Yeah, it could be for sure. I mean, when you think about women and hormones, they do definitely sync up.
I mean, whole flocks of sheep will sync up. I don't see why it's not possible with chickens.
Exactly. So descriptions of their personalities vary. Some say nervous and flighty. We always say flighty isn't a bad thing. It's a protective thing. Some say friendly and docile. I will say this. Sometimes they can be a tiny bit finicky, but all in all, they're cuddly. They love people.
I feel like because they have such strong personalities, I feel like Legbars are just very individual and they're all very unique. Some of them love a cuddle. Others just want to be at your feet. You kind of never know what you're going to get. But the more you handle them, the easier it will be to spend time with them and deal with them.
I have a very short story, which I've probably already told before, but it is funny. And you know what I'm going to talk about, I think. Peggy was cuddly from the moment I had her, but she also has a little in her where she will run from you. Like if she's out free ranging, you and I are on the phone, she's free ranging. And then I was like, remember I screamed and had to go. And I have a block of evergreen trees that are, what do you think? They're like 40 feet high or more?
At least 40 feet high, yeah.
She got herself under those evergreen trees, and I was out there for, an hour and a half waiting for the girls to get home from school and could not catch her.
She was like, yeah, no, I'm getting up here in this tree, and I'm just going to hang out, and you can't catch me, ha, ha, ha.
It was horrible. And then afterwards, I was like, you're not coming to free range for a while. But now she free ranges just fine, and she's so cuddly. But yeah, they definitely have some different things about their personalities.
They're very curious little birds. They love to free range and they love to forage. Now, and this is going to depend on the birds in your flock. Sometimes they tend to be towards the bottom of the pecking order, so keep an eye on your flock dynamics and maybe don't put them in with a strong flock where they're going to get pecked on. They are a small bird. Just keep that in mind.
I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. They are usually at the bottom.
They're a good homestead bird in many ways. These are not dual-purpose birds unless you're, I don't know. In general, we would not call these dual-purpose birds, but they're great garden helpers and they're very good layers. And like we said, they're gentle. And I think they've just become a really hot chicken lady, chicken gent, or chicken person favorite.
They're one of my favorites. And
mine too.
I have little man, but I don't want another rooster. So it may be the breed that I'm going to be getting.
Are you sure? I got like 10 that I could spare over here.
I know you do. I know.
Maybe 8. I would keep George and Casper.
So
you can have Armani.
And no way. No way. But the blue eggs, everything about this bird is just cool. So I would have a whole flock of them because they're just amazing. Their combs are cool, everything about them.
They deal with the hot weather pretty well because, again, they're a small chicken and they usually have a decent amount of comb to help let the heat off. But they're not super cold hardy. They don't really like the cold. They don't like the wind. Those combs definitely need protection. Now, we saw way too much frostbite on Legbars this past winter. Yeah. They need like a cozy coop heater to keep their coop right around 32 because when those ruffly combs get frostbite, it can be a nightmare.
Oh, yes. And you don't want that to happen. And keep in mind, they got a lot of leghorn in them. So they are not cold hardy. They have a lot of Mediterranean in them.
They do.
So they need to be protected like that breed. So yeah, here's the big question. Where can you get the Legbar? We know we mentioned My Pet Chicken, but
McMurray Hatchery has a really beautiful line of Legbars. That's where my little Judy Dench is from. Greenfire Farm does as well. Greenfire Farm, they offer a production strain, a good laying strain, and then they offer a strain of the Reese Legbars. It's worth it to check it out and see if they still have those on offer or if they've updated their Legbar offerings. We're seeing a lot more Legbars in feed stores, local farm supply stores, a lot more Legbars where you can just pick them up at the store if you want to.
Yeah, get the Legbar. You won't be disappointed. You'll love it.
Are you ready to dive into the fascinating world of backyard ducks? Look no further than Metzer Farms, your premier destination for top quality waterfowl. Whether you're a seasoned breeder or just starting out, Metzer Farms has everything you need to elevate your flock to the next level. And if you're passionate about call ducks, you're in for a treat.
Metzer Farms hatches a stunning variety of call ducks, meticulously bred for their miniature size, beauty, and calm temperament. From snowy whites to vibrant colors, each duck is a masterpiece waiting to grace your backyard. Visit MetzerFarms.com today to browse their extensive selection and start your journey into the wonderful world of waterfowl. Metzer Farms, where passion meets perfection.
If you're looking for a chicken coop that's produced in a planet-friendly, sustainable way, try Nestera.
Each coop is made from highly durable, 100% recycled plastic that keeps the equivalent of up to 2,000 shampoo bottles out of a landfill.
Their clean, modern design will fit into any garden or run area and comes with an industry-beating 25-year warranty and a range of handy accessories.
Simple to put together, so quick and easy to clean, and most importantly, red mite resistant. Your chickens will love it.
Quick shipping from Nestera US.
For a 5% discount, use the affiliate link in our show notes, on our website, and on Instagram. Link in bio. Check them out today.
Eaton Pet and Pasture is a farmer-owned company based in upstate New York that creates USA-made sustainable products for backyard chicken keepers. From low-dust hemp bedding and comfy aspen nesting pads to nutritious treats and odor-eliminating products, everything is designed to keep your coop clean, healthy, and smelling egg-tastic.
All their products are made right here in the USA with ingredients that are safe for your flock and the planet. So whether you're doing a deep clean or just a quick refresh, Eaton makes it simple to care for your coop the natural way.
They're your one-stop shop for coop freshness and flock happiness, made easy.
Visit EatonPetAndPasture.com to explore the full line of flock favorites and use the code COFFEE at checkout for a first-time purchase discount. Okay, so we ready to move on to main topic? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, this week we're going to be talking about a topic that's pretty timely right now, and it's what happens when you mail baby poultry, because a lot of people don't know exactly what to expect, what actually happens, some of the stuff that goes around this.
I've read a lot of things about this recently that are quite critical. And though we know that, I hate to say it, but it's the truth, it's generally post office error that leads to problems with shipping.
Right.
I mean, the hatcheries know what they're doing. So, but we still support it for a bunch of really good reasons. So just a little history. The post office started shipping baby poultry, so chicks, ducks and goslings, and actually other things like pheasant, other like game birds in about 1917. And the understanding at that point was that the post office would make it so that the birds always arrived within a 3-day window.
Exactly.
This has gone on for a very long time, running very smoothly until about 8 or 10 years ago when there were a lot of changes at the post office.
Mm-hmm.
And we started to see massive problems. I mean, that I would consider them animal welfare problems.
Yeah, I mean, the boxes are clearly labeled, but sometimes you do get some employees that give the really good employees a bad name when they're tossing live animals. They're not being gentle with the packages of chicks. And those types of things are not good. They're just horrible.
No, we're just not getting them
where they need to be in a timely fashion.
Exactly. So why do we support shipping chicks? Because we do. We think it's extremely important. The number one reason, actually, I don't know. I kind of feel like these 3 reasons are all equally important.
Well, we were talking about this before we were recording, and we both had our own reasons why we were supporting it. You go ahead.
We actually had all 3 of the same reasons.
Well, yeah, we're both talking about it.
Well, number one, access to rare breeds. If we want to keep these birds from going extinct, they need to be available to people. And the post office is often the only way to get them around.
Right. That's what I was talking to you about. I was like, look, we're talking about survival of chicken breeds. If you live in California and it's only being bred in, let's just say, Tennessee, there's no other way to get you those chicks unless you fly out, drive out, and do all those things. So we do need to be able to ship them. We do need to be able to do that.
The second reason, and this is absolutely crucial as well, buying chicks from a reputable hatchery is the most biosecure way to get babies that have been vaccinated and that have not been exposed to anything like plasma or worse. They come from hatcheries where they are carefully bred, carefully tested,
Right.
vaccinated against the big uglies.
It's their business. They're clean. We've been in
They're
McMurray's hatchery. You could eat off the floor in that hatchery. It's so
That hatchery
clean.
is spotless. And I hate to say don't buy local, but if you knew the number of people that come to us every day that have had terrible diseases in their flocks because they bought from local breeders, it is a real problem.
I mean, let's look at, we have a patron named Carla who's looking for Silkies and what she's going through trying to find a reputable breeder near her that offers vaccines, that's NPIP certified. Yeah. All these things to find a local person so that she can get Silkies is crazy. So the hatcheries do offer these things and it's their business. They're great at it. But they have to be able to service and send them.
Right. I mean, and the third reason is why shipping began to begin with. And that was because people all over the country needed access to birds that they could keep on their farms and homesteads for both commercial reasons, like your grandparents had chicks shipped to them.
They were an egg farm.
They were an egg farm, right. Homesteaders all across the country that maybe don't have anyone around them who is breeding. And again, access to those rare breeds that we need to fight so hard to keep from going extinct. So this is why we support shipping.
Right. When you go to your local store, sometimes I get annoyed because they order the same breeds every year. And this is nothing against them. It's just sometimes people, they do like the consistency of the same breeds, but they want an option of other breeds. When you get the McMurray catalog, you get all those heritage breeds. They're right at your fingertips. You have to be able to ship to get them. Now, here's the thing that we want to explain. A 1-day-old chick, they will not need to eat for 3 days. So that is what makes this possible in the first place, because they eat what's left over in the egg.
They absorb the whole yolk.
Yeah, the whole thing.
And that whole yolk feeds them. It gives them the liquid and the sustenance that they need for 3 days. And that is the shipping window.
Right.
Hatcheries are really careful about this. They all have well-designed boxes. They use heat packs that go in the bottom of the box. And they use some of those almost like aspen nesty stuff. They'll put grow gel in there so the babies have something to eat. And with the USPS doing things properly and running properly, you had your babies arrive safely within that window.
What I want to talk about here, because there is some confusion that people have sometimes when you get a tracking label, and it can be confusing because it's going to tell you when it left the hatchery, and it's going to tell you different stops that those chicks are going to make along the way.
Or it won't tell you anything. And you just get a call from the post. We've seen all of these scenarios.
But the thing is, sometimes the stops can be very close to your house, right? But not the stop to your post office. Anything is can happen within that 3-day window. They give them 3 days to get to you. So if it's saying it's at a distribution center that's close to your home, generally the distribution centers are not places to pick up your chicks. It's only your local post op.
Right. They're not actually a post office. It's true.
So when you look at the tracking label, if it says it's at this distribution center, that is a layover until it gets on the next truck, generally to your post office.
Right.
So just know that, and understanding the tracking label can really help out with anxiety when it comes to shipping.
For sure. I mean, we've seen a lot of different scenarios. We even had chicks shipped to the wrong town one time. We got a call and they said, Mrs. Callahan, your chicks are in Millersville, Maryland. Well, Millersville, Maryland is like a couple of counties over. It's nowhere near us. It's
like an hour and something away.
Yeah. And that was like the Jubilee Orpingtons. That was a big order.
Yeah.
And so they said, what do you want to do? Do you want us to put it on another truck? And I said, no, you keep those chicks right there and I will come and get them.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, that didn't show up on the tracking. And that was purely a USPS mistake because my post office is Millers.
Right.
And they sent
it went to
Millersville.
I mean, what the thing is look at the tracking labels and try to decipher them the best that you can and inquire about them. So if you're seeing that they're at a place for a long time, Okay, so sometimes understanding the tracking label is there's two different trucks they're going to come out on, either an early truck or a late truck. And sometimes if they're on the late truck, you're not going to get them until the next morning.
Yeah.
So just know that as long as you're within that 3-day from birth window, they will be fine to get to you.
Right. If temperatures are too cold, most good hatcheries won't ship anyway. You know,
Right.
they'll want to hold off until temperatures have come back up a bit. You and I always ship to my post office because they're rural.
Right.
And they're experienced with the chicks. Although I did have one guy, it was the goslings. He was like, they're loud. Come and get them.
Oh, he was a grumpy guy.
I said, I'm here to pick up the goslings. And he said, good.
Yeah.
My baby's grumpy man. But he's the exception, though. I mean, most of the time, if you call the post office and say, I'm expecting chicks or ducklings or whatever, they'll say, oh, great, let's have your name and phone number again. We can put it right at the front desk. And usually they're very happy to let you know what's going on.
And that's good to do the day that you know that they're shipped.
Right.
Call the post office because you'll generally get an email from the hatchery saying they have shipped with your tracking label. And then call your local post office and say, they're scheduled to be to you here. Can I leave my name and number? And you give me a call. And then you're going to be waiting for the call from them. So once you get the call, go and make sure everybody's okay.
I don't remember what episode number it is, but one of our episodes where we had Mark and Katie Metzer on, they explained the whole shipping and the reason they have a hatchery in Memphis, Tennessee now, which is a really good episode to listen to.
Yeah, because they said everybody goes through Memphis, no matter who you are.
Memphis is a hub, right, for the living creatures that come through. Because apparently even bees can be shipped. It's all agricultural for the most part, with this big history behind it. I just wish the USPS would maybe train the employees better. I don't know. I don't know the answer.
I think you could give all the training in the world. And for somebody who doesn't care, they're not going to care. But hopefully the people will understand that they're live beings in these boxes and not toss them and jiggle them and do all the bad things to them and make sure that they get to be where they need to go in a timely fashion.
Right.
You just have to hope that it's the right people there. And the Memphis thing, yeah, you're right. Our friends at Metzer Farm said every single live animal goes through there through FedEx. So they did the smartest thing they could do is make their facility right there to cut down on additional shipping.
If you're getting ducklings or goslings coming from Metzer and you're on the East Coast, generally you're getting your birds within 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah. That's how they wanted it. They wanted their shipping even quicker.
Yep.
So that's why they did that. That's just awesome. Now, here's the next thing. The day they're going to come or the day before, have it all set up. We've talked about this across the country when we talked about chicks to everybody. Set up the brooder. Put the light on.
Have it pre-warmed.
Yeah, because they're going to be stressed from their journey to you.
And if you do have a baby that like is super quiet or you think is shipping stressed, we have an article right on the website on the articles tab for what to do with shipping stressed chicks. Those things that we list, they work. So you get a really cold baby, just get them warm fast and then take a read for our tips. And then you want to see them eating and drinking within the first little while. So we always dip beaks and show them the food. It used to be, when I started with chickens, you just picked the most outgoing chick and showed them the food and where they'd show everyone else. But now we dip everyone's beak because we just want everyone to see where the water is.
Yeah, just go drink some water. For the love of God, drink some water.
And remember that pasty butt, people say it's more common in shipped chicks. I'm not sure that's true. I think it can occur in any chick that is stressed.
Yeah. And pasty butt, let's keep in mind, too hot, too cold. That could also cause it. So keeping
often does cause it.
Yeah, keep that temperature where it should be, and that way you should have a less of a problem because it causes the soft stool that then hardens on the vet, and that's what pasty butt is. So you want to keep that stool firm so that it falls right out and doesn't stick to the vent. So there you go. That's how we feel about shipping. It's a must. And you know, there are a lot of people out there that really don't like it, but it's a must for the survival of chicken breeds. And done correctly, it works and it's been working for 100 years so well.
And again, you cannot underestimate if you are buying from a legit hatchery who does good, clean business, that literally is your best chance of getting a clean baby, not bringing diseases into your flock.
And here's the other thing. If you're buying local at a feed store, you're still buying shipped chickens. They're just shipped in a larger amount.
They were shipped in the feed store in big flat boxes instead of straight to you.
Yeah, exactly. So buying in the local feed store, they are still shipped just in a bigger quantity together versus just directly to you. So it's an amazing thing that can be done. Let's keep it nice. This is why we want nice things, right? We want these babies so that we can keep these breeds going.
It's an important part of agriculture, and I have faith that the system of shipping can be improved once again.
Yeah. So if you have any questions, ask us. If we have articles out there on our website, like Holly Ann was saying, check them out.
If your flock could talk, they would thank you for shopping at Eaton Pet and Pasture, your one-stop shop for coop freshness and flock happiness made easy.
From their all-natural USA-made favorites like hemp bedding, roost refresh, and nesting pads to convenient product bundles that make chicken care simple, Eaton has everything you need to keep your coop clean, cozy, and odor-free.
Check them out at EatonPetandPasture.com and use code COFFEE at checkout for a first-time purchase discount.
So, are we ready to move on to
Cracking the eggs?
Cracking those eggs. Now, we're keeping it sweet today.
We're doing egg yolk cookies. These are sort of a popular thing in various other parts of the world. I thought it was really interesting once I really got into them. And of course, we are already into the too many eggs territory this spring. I mean, just eggs everywhere.
I'm there.
Me too. So we're looking for recipes that use 3 or more eggs at a time. I'm like, give it to me.
Give me one that uses 3 dozen at a time.
Right? That's what I would like. The ducks are super layers. Geez. So this recipe uses 3 egg yolks. You could either do 3 duck, 3 chicken, or 1 goose egg yolk if you wanted to.
Right.
You can also use the leftover whites to whip up some meringues to go with your egg yolk cookies. Because you're going to have the leftover whites, right?
That would be good.
These are drop cookies, and they're naturally gluten and dairy free, and they're pretty easy to make. This is a traditional Persian recipe where the cookies would be served with tea or at New Year's celebrations.
Nice.
I just thought they were really, really interesting little cookies.
So let's go through the ingredients. Like Holly Ann said, you need 3 large egg yolks. You're going to reserve those whites for something else or feed them to everybody else. Okay, 1/4 cup of powdered sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of cardamom, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 3/4 of a cup of walnuts chopped, 1 tablespoon of powdered pistachios. And these are optional because if you want to use them, you can decorate the tops with them.
Right. You could probably also, like a lot of Persian cuisine uses rose petals and rose water. So you could probably also chop up some dried rose petals if you wanted to.
Pistachios are huge in the Persian
Absolutely.
culture.
And they're delicious.
Oh, yeah.
So, now, again, these are easy to make. I really am a big fan of these little cookies. You're going to preheat your oven to 325 degrees Fahrenheit and then line a baking sheet, a cookie sheet with parchment paper or foil set aside.
It's contagious.
I know, right? In a medium-sized mixing bowl, you're going to beat the egg yolks, the powdered sugar, the cardamom, and the vanilla on high for 8 to 10 minutes until the mixture is creamy and very light in color. It's going to increase in volume. You're going to fold in those chopped walnuts using a spatula, and you want to make sure every piece of walnut is coated with the egg mixture so everything sticks together. To make the cookies, you're going to drop about a teaspoonful of dough onto the baking sheet, and you want to leave a generous inch or inch and a half between the cookies to give them room to spread out. And then once your cookies are on the sheet and ready to go, you can do that optional dusting with the chopped pistachios if you want.
Yeah.
The cookies bake for 12 to 15 minutes. It's a longer bake on a lower heat, which I think you need because of all the fats in the egg yolks.
Right.
The cookies will eventually turn slightly golden when you bake them. Let them cool completely before you remove them from the cookie sheets and enjoy them. They're that easy.
They're that great. Try it. You might like it. Let us know what you think. Make it for your bestie and bring it over and talk chickens while you listen to the podcast. Hey, all the things. Before we move on, thinking of just saying podcast and besties, I'm going to say a really funny story when we were traveling. It's probably one of the only funny stories about our travel day to Kansas.
Yeah.
And Kansas was amazing when we went. And we're about to talk about Bomgaars, and it's kind of all the things together reminded me of it. But we kind of put it on. We had a horrible travel day because of the security lines, flights, all this stuff. And Holly didn't have a book. So we were looking in the stores.
I lugged a book along for all the other trips. And this is the one where I was like, well, I'll just leave it home. And
so we're in one of the little stores because we had 14 to 15 hours in the airport that day. And we're looking at books. And it was so funny if this lady is listening because she did subscribe. But we're looking at the books and we're joking around as we always do. And Holly's picking up books. And I was like, just get the Dear Debbie because I can read it after you. And this lady starts laughing and looks at the both of us and says, you two should have a podcast.
Which absolutely broke us up. We're like, already do.
And we started laughing and we're like, well, we do have a podcast. And she was kind of like, no. And then she said, well, you're kind of like old people, but young. And I was like, I don't know how to take that, man.
We do kind of have this constant dialogue. We don't even think about it, though.
No, we were not thinking about it. We were just... Holly was looking at the books and she kept trying to look at these other books. And I was like, get this one because I like it and I can read it after you.
It ended up being pretty good. I mean, I read it in 2 days. That's the danger. Like with the novel, I can go through it fast. Yeah. But that was really, really funny. It's all yours, Dear Debbie. It was pretty good. It was. I enjoyed it.
Okay, so let's move on to retail therapy. Retail therapy. Yeah. This week's retail therapy, we are talking about the fabulous Bomgaars.
Bomgaars, yeah. Bomgaars is the feed and supply store that hosted us in Baser, Kansas, the last leg of the Where Good Gathers tour with Neutrina.
Oh, yeah.
Bomgaars has a lot of locations throughout the country.
It's over 300, I believe.
Yeah. So one of the things they did, which was super duper fun, is they gave us each a gift card to do a little shopping spree.
Yes. And it was a surprise and it was so fun. We were so grateful for the gift card. And in fact, with mine, I did get a cowgirl hat.
You did. Well, and I want to say thanks to Mike and Kim, who are the owners of Bomgaars.
Oh my God, they're the best.
They're so great. And Tom, one of the Neutrina reps who actually physically handed the cards to us, I ended up buying a big, beautiful Wrangler tote bag.
It is beautiful. I think we were fighting over it.
It's a beautiful, I got my hand on it first.
There was only one big one. And Holly, I think she came out of nowhere and darted in front of me.
Oh no, I was already standing there.
I like this. And I was like, but I'm getting a cowgirl hat anyway. So.
I also did get a cowgirl hat. And it's a super nice one. I bought that on my own. But we're just going to talk a little bit about the fact that places like Bomgaars, you can get so much stuff. So first of all, if your partner is a man and he doesn't want to shop for clothing, take him to someplace like Bomgaars because they've got a lot of men's clothing. I mean, a lot.
They had a lot, and they had some really cool women's stuff too. Mm-hmm. They had a lot of Wrangler, which I love Wrangler.
Ariat.
Yeah, I mean, some really cool brands that way. They had the hats, which were amazing.
They also had... Well, I spent a lot of time like looking at accessory stuff, and they had something that I'm constantly buying because I'm constantly losing, and that is work gloves in women's sizes.
Yeah, work gloves are amazing. This Bomgaars, and I think a lot of them probably do have like a huge setup for DeWalt. It was
hardware,
massive, like all the hardware stuff.
Yeah.
And then they had flowers out front. So, I mean, it's kind of a big, huge, supersized farm supply store.
Yeah. With hardware and gardening stuff.
All your pet needs, your chicks. And we were really amazed with the heritage breeds that they had come in when we were there.
They had Sicilian buttercups. I was like constantly walking back to see the Sicilian buttercups.
They had naked necks. They had a lot of different
otherwise
breeds.
known as a Transylvania Turkin. No, it's a Transylvania naked neck. People call the Turkin. It's a Transylvania naked neck.
Transylvania.
They are ridiculously cute little babies.
Yeah. So it's a store that has a lot of stuff in an area. It's a rural area, so you can go one place and it's a one-stop shop. But we really want to just say thank you to them because they really made us feel good with the gift cards. And thank you for hosting us. And it was just a great day. It was a great day there.
It was a great day. It was super fun. We even went back later that night and reshopped.
Because I had money left and I got a Wrangler t-shirt with the money I
had money left. And I had spent all my gift card money, but I wanted to get a cowboy hat. So, and I did. It was a really nice straw one.
So there you go. If you're near a Bomgaars, check it out. They're great. They have all the stuff you need. Clothes, everything, boots, whatever you need, they have.
Yeah. Thank you again, Bomgaars, for hosting us. It was fantastic.
Okay. So should we tell everybody what we're going to be talking about next week?
Next week, we are spotlighting, one of the chickens on my future chicken list, the Appenzeller Spitzhaben.
The ones that should be on the cover of a record.
They should. They're fantastic. A main topic we are talking, because we have had tons and tons and tons of people reach out about this. We're going to be talking about feather pluckers in your flock and what to do about them.
I have some.
You do? Naughty Lucy. Cracking the eggs. We're going to do a delicious basic fried rice with spring greens and eggs.
It's yummy. Yeah, so good.
And we're doing a seed spotlight, and it happens to be sugar snap peas.
Because you want to grow them and then put them in your fried rice.
They're the best in fried rice.
Okay, so what should we tell everybody to do until next week?
Hug your chickens, ducks, and geese.
And kiss them too. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
If you'd like to see more of us, please follow us on Instagram at Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. If you'd like to help us grow the podcast, please leave us a written review on Apple Podcasts. If you'd like to become a patron of the show, please visit our Patreon page, patreon.com/Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. Thanks for listening.